Hi, I'm Little Rock Mayor Frank Scott Jr. I'm a proud member of Rotary Club 99 in my hometown, Little Rock, Arkansas. Little Rock today is a growing, thriving, and welcoming city. Like all cities over the years, we have weathered many storms and learned some hard lessons. Yet, we continue to find ways to work together as a community to ensure equity for everyone. In Little Rock, we've been fortunate to have community leaders who have boldly led us to inclusiveness and progress. Gus Ottenheimer, an early member of Little Rock Rotary Club 99 and successful businessman, was one of those leaders. During World War II, Gus and his brother Leonard made economic and racial history when they were the first to hire black workers for their new garment factory just down the street from City Hall. Gus Ottenheimer was also a leader in the Rotary Club. He established a program to promote international goodwill and understanding for young scholars in Eastern European countries as they emerged from World War II. Now known as the Ottenheimer International Scholars Program, this program invites 2 college-age students each year to travel to Little Rock and learn about our American democracy and free enterprise systems. Over the years, the program has expanded from Europe to Africa, Australia, the Far East, India, and South America.
The Ottenheimer International Scholars Program is our club's longest lasting and most, in my opinion, significant service project going back 75 years.
The Ottenheimer program answers one of the tenements of Rotary International, which is promoting goodwill and better friendships across the world. So for the Rotary Club of Little Rock, that has been a very important part of our mission, and I think it's very unique to the Rotary Club of Little Rock. There's no other Rotary Club that has a program designed just like this.
We have made a significant impact on developing friendships and international goodwill around the world.
We've had students visit us from 48 different countries.
The Ottenheimer International Scholars Program is the longest standing committee of Club 99.
We have a program that surpasses the longevity of many of the Rotary clubs around the world.
It's quite extraordinary to see the students just come alive and bloom and get to know everyone while they're here.
But what's more powerful than people-to-people exchanges? And so Ottenheimer makes a major contribution because people talking to people. You can step around any amount of propaganda or social media nonsense when you actually have people talking to each other.
Gus was a German immigrant that came over to Arkansas, and he saw this as a program to bring young people from all over the world to come to Arkansas, for them to be exposed to Arkansas and the United States. And just as important for us is our club to be exposed to people from all over the world, because a lot of our members had never been exposed to people to other countries.
I love it so much, and it's so nice to get to meet the students, learn about their life at home, learn about their countries, and it's like a reverse visit for me.
And it's been a great program for our members, especially who have young people the same age, to meet young people from other countries.
I learned how to count and do my colors in a lot of different languages. It was just a lot of fun. You realize that you're all the same, even though you're from different places around the world. You know, we're still teenagers interested in the same things ultimately.
The program began, of course, by inviting 2 students from a foreign country, primarily to promote international understanding and friendship.
In 1948, we had scholars from France, and the next year we had 2 scholars from Italy. At that point, Congressman French Hill's grandfather was the chair of the committee, and he had a relationship with Senator Bill Fulbright.
It's amazing to me that Gus Ottenheimer, inspired by the conflict in World War II, is thinking about how to bring the people of the world together after such a brutal conflict. And that at the same time, precisely the same time, our senator from Arkansas, Bill Fulbright, was thinking through doing precisely the same thing, but on a national scale, as a part of America's leadership in the world to rebuild after World War II.
Here in the original focus of the Ottenheimer program by the Ottenheimer brothers was to show them what democracy was like. This was in 1948 when we had the first 2 students here.
In the archives, one of the exchanges between Senator Fulbright and the club is of particular interest. It specifically references Gus Ottenheimer's plan and commitment to bringing foreign students to Little Rock. On August 10th, 1954, the club secretary, Kathleen Moorman, writes Senator Fulbright, "You'll be glad to know that the Little Rock Rotary Club is continuing their, open quote, Little Rock plan, close quote, by bringing 2 Finnish students to Little Rock as our guests for a 60-day period next spring." Senator Fulbright writes Kathleen back, "I'm pleased to know that the Little Rock Rotary Club is continuing its plan to bring foreign students to Little Rock. And I shall, of course, be more than glad to cooperate in any possible way. With every good wish, I am sincerely yours, Bill Fulbright." And then he writes in his own writing at the bottom of his nice letter, "This is a fine program."
The committee decided back in the 50s to invite people from various Eastern European countries, and communism was trying to have an influence upon them, and so the program was used to bring Eastern Europeans to Arkansas each year and to show them our free enterprise system and our democratic way of life.
They would stay here 60 days, live as we live, see what we see, hear what we hear, do what we do. It would give them the opportunity to return to their respective countries and tell their own countrymen the truth about democracy under a capitalistic setup, such as we have here in America.
Every time I meet people from another Rotary International Club, I try to mention that we have an exchange going on.
We just kind of winged it. We didn't really select a country. It was primarily if a Rotarian had some kind of a contact with an individual or a Rotary club in a foreign country, and we would kind of use that as a base, but we'd also go through the district in that particular country as well.
Ideally, we would find and introduce ourselves to other international Rotary clubs and would share with them our program and the mission behind it. It was an opportunity for young people from their country or from their home to be able to visit Arkansas.
Generally, you would have about 7 or 8 applicants. We started having them send videos. We had one year we had a couple of young men come over who just were not very personable. And so we wanted to make sure that they had some sort of personality.
I think one of the biggest and best changes over the years to the application process was the introduction of videos into the project, because we can really get a sense of that person and how they might fit together with another person, with another participant, or how they may fit within our club.
Most of these kids are pretty sharp because we worked with the Rotary clubs that were in those countries, and they picked some of the students that came over here. Most of them are really sharp students and were very aware about things.
It's kind of funny, I mean, as far as choosing the country, we were kind of given wide range by Karen to do whatever. Now, we had one year she said, now don't spend a lot of money, let's keep it close. So that's when we got the young ladies from Nova Scotia.
That country, that city hosted all the planes that were taken out of the air during 9/11, and our whole club expressed our appreciation to the city of Halifax for hosting all the planes during that period of time, and that was a very touching and moving moment that we had during the time that I was chairman.
But when you didn't have any restrictions on your spending, you just kind of literally throw a dart at the map and see where it goes.
Hello, Rotary Club Little Rock. Here is Pauline Ibon, and I was one of the lucky participants to the Ottenheimer program back in 2015.
Two boys had visited here from New Zealand, and they were characters and funny, and I thought, wow, that sounds like something I'd like to get involved in.
One of my friends convinced me to get involved because I'm in the travel and tourism industry. So she thought that would be great. You know how the city works and you can take people around and travel with them and all that. So I was like, okay. And little did I know that I got put in charge of the program that year, and I had two beautiful girls from Poland that I was in charge of their schedule.
Well, it's been my pleasure to be a part of the Ottenheimer International Scholars Program for roughly 10 years, and it's really been a delightful experience to have people. We've hosted, I think, 20 scholars in groups of 2.
The first 2 students that I had were 2 boys from Russia. Honestly, when the time came that they were supposed to arrive, we didn't even know if they were going to be here because the communications had not been very good at the time. We had 2 girls from South Africa. They were very interesting.
I remember the Israelis, I remember those particularly. I remember the Belgian ones.
This one obviously from Italy, and the girls from France, and so forth. Then the girls from Korea had a very interesting set of banners of sorts.
2 boys from Liechtenstein. That's an extremely small country, and they were more fun. We got 2 girls from Tanzania. They were very interesting. Had a ball with them. There were 2 boys from Northern Ireland. Then let's see, 2 guys from France again. We had 2 girls from Belgium.
2 young men from Hungary. I remember they were from Budapest, and they were like, we called them our twin towers.
Both of them were like 6'5". And I asked them, are all the kids in Budapest this tall? She said, no, we're unusual.
They were the tallest young people that were ever hosted.
2 Australians. In fact, the Australian guys, they were fun. When they came here, I took them to Outback. And they got a big laugh out of that.
Jorge from Costa Rica, he was a lot of fun. The Costa Rican kids were a blast. They had no limitations, and they weren't scared to do anything.
My name is Dewi Griffiths. Some of you may remember me. I came over in 2011 with Ben and Leah. We came from Wales.
The Wales, the ones from Wales.
They wrote a nice note here about Wupig Zooey.
I can't even remember. I've had so many different ones. They're all been fun.
We pay for them to get here once they arrive, and they are guests of Rotary hosts in their home. The Rotary hosts pay for most everything.
As mayor, it's truly a proud moment where you have an organization like Rotary Club 99 making the investment internationally to bring these students to our city, where we have the opportunity to truly showcase our city on the world stage.
We would ask the Rotarians, how did you want to be involved? And there was a checklist of just half day, whole day, 2 days, 3 days.
Once you are a host, you will do it again. A lot of people they don't know what to do. They don't know where to take them. They're a little I got a person from another country. And all you got to do is be yourself. That's all you got to do.
I was always the one who would let people stay at my house for a long time. I don't have a boat. I don't have a condo. I'm not the person that's going to do that with them, but I would always be a home base, which I think is very important. It gets them to get involved and be part of a real family.
We would always make sure that we matched up the young people with their interest. So if their background or their educational background or their focus was finance, then we made sure that we connected them with somebody in finance, or whether it was banking or whoever it was, that we connected them with that industry or that particular area.
If they're interested in medicine, maybe they'll do a tour of UAMS. If they're interested in architecture, maybe they'll set them up with a firm and they can go tour the firm and talk to some of the architects.
Because of the Rotary Club and the Ottenheimer program, these kids were treated royally. They experienced more than anybody would when they're coming to town or something.
We have routinely opened our homes to people from all over the world, and that's precisely what Paul Harris wanted from every person who believed in the principles of Rotary.
I would usually take the girls or the boys up to Ponca, and a lot of times I'd have other Rotarians come with me, and we'd float the buffalo and hike.
I'd usually head out on Highway 165, I think it is, to England, and we'd make a stop at Scott, and we'd go to the Agricultural Museum there, and then end up with lunch in Keogh at Charlotte's Eats and Sweets, I think it is. That's a place not to miss.
Many of the students enjoy going to Central High.
In 2018, I had the opportunity to take the two young women from Indonesia up to Fayetteville to see the university and visit Crystal Bridges. It was also bid day weekend, so there was a lot of excitement on campus. And on the way home, we stopped at the infamous Whataburger in Russellville, and that was a highlight for the girls. We had a lot of great restaurants, including at Crystal Bridges and Brave New here in Little Rock, but they remember specifically the hamburger at Whataburger.
Most of the time, we hosted them at our lake house. We taught them how to water ski, we taught them how to inner tube. My daughter taught them how to wakeboard, and mostly we spent a lot of time in the water.
I took them to the horse races in Hot Springs. I just think that was a good way to start them off. They had a good time.
We've gone to Blanchard Caverns, we've gone to Graceland in Memphis, we've done the Clinton Library.
The Russian boys were so interested in police, so we had them ride with the police. Each boy rode with a different policeman. Oh my gosh, they loved that.
One thing they said from almost the start, they wanted to shoot guns. And I wasn't real sure how to pull that one off, but we had a connection with somebody who was with the Little Rock Police Department, and they took us to their gun range.
One of the guys from it was Brazil, and when he stayed with us, he wanted a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's all he could talk about. I want a bucket of chicken.
I've always tried to take them horseback riding.
They were taking pictures of the steak and everything, saying they'd never seen a steak that big.
Dewey, the other fellow with him, was a talented guitarist, and he played one night at the Afterthought. Some of the friends got him a gig there, and we all went down to watch him do that and perform.
For more than 15 years, I have been the one to kind of help coordinate their day at both the governor's mansion and at the state capitol. I just love that about the program, that our scholars get to go back home and say they met the governor of Arkansas.
We always ended the program with a 3-day stay in Washington, D.C., where they were hosted by one of our congressmen.
There was a tremendous amount of research and work that went in to making sure that it wasn't just a party over here, that we were getting them a full opportunity to get exposed to what they do, what their interests are, and also entertain them as well.
I think it just is great for Arkansans to get to show off their state and also learn about the scholars' home countries and what they bring to the table.
Just a myriad of experiences to show them how we live in America. And of course, they had an opportunity to make a presentation the last week they were here to our Total Rotary Club about what they saw, how their experience affected them.
Peter Marzoli, the architect, and Guy Iacobacci, the attorney. Peter delivered speeches both in Little Rock, like we always ask our international visitors to do, but also back at the local Rotary clubs in Italy. And he just is enthusiastic and wonderfully impressed with what he witnessed there at the end of World War II of life in the United States. Peter says, a different great America exists beyond big cities. It's a less whirling and frantic America, but I can assure you that it is good, cordial, friendly, and generous country. It's a country that enraptures so much that I, even here in my dear Italy and with my parents, deeply feel homesick for it. Because in my short visit of just a few weeks, I was welcomed by all the people I met with in such a spontaneous and sincere cordiality to believe that really exists the way of understanding other men and of reaching a better agreement among nations.
When I was 22 years old, I think it kind of made me realize that life is bigger, or the world is bigger than the town you're coming from, that there's so much more to discover and to see in the world.
Europeans and Americans are very similar in many respects. We share the same joys and worries, so to say. And the differences between our cultures aren't really so great.
They think, oh, I want to come to New York, I want to go to Chicago, I want to go to LA and Miami, the big cities that they've heard about. But after they've come here and spent a month here, and we've put out the hospitality, they were glad that they came to Little Rock and didn't come to the big city, because our members really put on the dog.
Little Rock isn't a big city, but they appreciated it, and they would tell us differences between their country and ours. And they appreciated the closeness of our family and being a part of it.
You know, it was interesting. They were all very surprised with what they saw when they traveled to Little Rock and to the state of Arkansas. When they came over here, they had a pre-established idea of what was going to happen here because of what they'd seen on television. And it was very much unlike that.
Some of them have a different concept of what America's like. And the Russian boys they kept thinking the cowboys and Indians were going to be
They were amazed by the industriousness of Americans. They were amazed by the community spirit of Americans. And they went home enthusiastic.
Each and every one of the participants over the years have so enjoyed and have been so surprised and enlightened and just thrilled at the hospitality that the Rotarians have shown here in Little Rock for each one of them. Really, once they get here, they are treated like family.
You know, Rotary, the people in Rotary are so friendly, and they will do anything.
To a person, they were all very grateful for the opportunity to be in Little Rock and to learn something about a part of America that they didn't know much about before coming.
Evelyn reached out and said, she had not ever been to America before, and what she knew about America was what she had seen in the movies. And so she was glad to see this side of America, and she specifically stated the natural beauty that Arkansas had. And through this program, she mentioned that she was able to really live like a local, and she enjoyed that.
And the great part about these students are that they talk to us. They talk about what their life is like for them, and they're not shy about exchanging views and ideas. They want to learn about different cultures. They want to build that relationship. This program does that, and it is at the young level that we want to reach out to these children so we can create this concept of one world.
It was a lifetime experience to get a respect from so many well-mannered people. Everywhere I went, there were such heartwarming welcomes, and I still cherish those memories.
It's truly a two-way street. They're learning our culture, we're learning theirs, but it helps perpetuate positivity of the two worlds.
The program's really touched my life as much as it has any of the young people, I would guess. It was really like me traveling to their country.
Oh, I learned a whole lot. I mean, I just learned about countries I've never been to, or about the culture, what their view is of America.
You just make friends forever when you're involved in this committee and to meet so many of these students.
Many of us have kept in contact with those students. In fact, my wife and I had the opportunity to visit Martin Pollock in Bratislava, Slovakia. Martin and his girlfriend drove us over 200 miles east into the country where my village, of where my family originated.
I mean, it's fantastic because they show you around.
We quickly bonded with Donna and Mia from Romania, and my daughter and Donna and Mia all became very close. I mean, it was like they already knew each other, which was very cool. It made it a whole lot easier on Dad because I didn't really have to entertain them. They all entertained themselves. And since that time, Megan went over and stayed on an internship in Romania for a period of time, working with Heifer International, and spent a lot of time with Donna during that period of time. And as of lately, about a year and a half ago, we traveled back over there to visit them in Romania, and Megan and Donna reconnected. It was fabulous. I mean, it was incredible. It was magical, and still is today.
I think it's absolutely amazing that the Ottenheimer International Scholars Program is 75 years old, and I know that it has impacted my life in ways that are immeasurable, and I look forward to what Ottenheimer can do in the next 75 years with this program.
There are so many misunderstandings between people of different cultures, and that's one of the things that we love about Rotary, is that we are able to meet people from other countries and learn from them, and they can learn from us, and that's the beauty of this program.
The Club 99 has continued the tradition of Gus Ottenheimer, which is that every year we have been significantly personally engaged for international good.
So I think Gus Ottenheimer knew what he was talking about, knew what he wanted, 75 years ago when he started this program, and that, maybe he didn't realize, but maybe he did, that, hey, this could be a program that could continue for a long time.
This year, since the Ottenheimer family originated in Germany, we decided to try to get 2 males from Germany to be our special guests for the 75th anniversary.
I'd like to thank the Ottenheimer Foundation for helping to sponsor the Ottenheimer International Scholar Program. And they've done this for, 75 years. And it is great how they show their dedication to the community.
I've thought about the Ottenheimer program and thought about the Ottenheimer men. What a wonderful gift and legacy that they gave in doing this to perpetuate the opportunity for young people to have this sort of an exchange. Wonderful legacy, it really is. Proud to have been a part of it.
As we celebrate the 75th anniversary of the Ottenheimer International Scholars Program, I congratulate Rotary Club 99. I honor the memory of Gus Ottenheimer, and I wish the program many, many years of continued success.